The morning is more than just the beginning of your day. It is the foundation upon which the rest of your hours are built. When we say the morning is your seed time, we're tapping into a principle that runs deep, not only in success philosophy, but also in nature, agriculture, and even spirituality. Seed time is the time of planting, the moment where potential is buried into the soil with the expectation of harvest. What you plant in the morning, through your thoughts, your habits, your focus, and your energy, grows and multiplies throughout the rest of your day. It sets a direction. It carries momentum. It compounds. Just as a farmer knows the quality of the harvest depends on the condition of the soil and the intentionality of the planting, so too must we understand that our mornings are sacred ground. When you wake up and instantly reach for your phone, scroll through social media, check notifications, or get lost in news cycles, you are allowing distractions, fear, comparison, and noise to plant themselves in the soil of your day. That's not seed time. That's sabotage. That's sabotage. You're not choosing, you're reacting. And people who live their lives in reaction mode seldom lead them with purpose. But when you wake up and decide to take control, to begin your day with intentionality through prayer, meditation, journaling, exercise, reading, or even sitting quietly and visualizing your goals, you are sowing seeds of clarity, discipline, courage, and alignment. You are declaring to the world, I choose how my day grows. Let me make it plain. Imagine you are a gardener with a field to cultivate. You have the choice to wake up early, prepare the soil, plant good seed, water it, and protect it. Or you can stay in bed, get up late, and let weeds, wild growth, and wind take over your field. What kind of harvest do you think you'll reap at the end of the season? That's your life. That's your business. That's your mindset. That's your relationships. Every morning, the ground is fresh. The clock resets, and you get to choose what gets planted in that day. Now, let's take an example to bring this to life. Consider two entrepreneurs, John and Eric. Both are equally talented, equally resourced, and working in the same industry. John starts his mornings with a clear routine. He wakes up at 5:30 a.m., spends 10 minutes in quiet reflection, reads a few pages of a business or mindset book, writes down his top 3 priorities for the day, and exercises for 20 minutes. By the time his team is logging into Zoom, John has already aligned himself with his purpose, identified his objectives, and activated his energy. His day flows from clarity. He is leading, not chasing. He is responding, not reacting. Eric, on the other hand, wakes up at 7:45 a.m. after snoozing his alarm 3 times. He checks his emails while brushing his teeth, gets frustrated by a client message, skips breakfast, and hops directly into back-to-back meetings. By 10 a.m., his mind is cloudy, his stress is high, and he's already behind on deliverables. He's not thinking about vision. He's fighting fires. He didn't plant seeds. He let weeds grow. And now he's trying to salvage the day with exhausted energy. Fast forward 6 months, John's business growing steadily. His team trusts him. He's attracting new opportunities, staying on top of strategy, and his well-being is intact. Eric, despite working hard, is overwhelmed, struggling to keep pace, and wondering why his results don't match his potential. The difference is not luck. It's not hustle. It's not even skill. The difference was in how they won their mornings. John treated the morning as seed time. Eric treated it like survival mode. This principle applies far beyond business. A mother who wakes up and spends 10 minutes praying or meditating before waking her children plants peace into her family's day. An athlete who gets up early and trains before sunrise is sowing excellence into his future. A student who reviews her goals or reads something inspiring before heading to school is planting vision and self-worth. These are the silent, unseen investments that compound in powerful ways. The results don't show immediately, but they always show eventually. You must understand that you are either cultivating or contaminating your future one morning at a time. You are either preparing the ground for growth or allowing the wrong things to take root. If you start your day in chaos, don't be surprised if the rest of it spirals. But if you start with structure, peace, and purpose, you give yourself the best chance to operate at your highest capacity. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You just need a powerful one. You don't need 2 hours of silence and luxury to make it count. Even 15 focused minutes of intention can radically shift the tone of your entire day. The power is not in how long you spend. The power is in what you prioritize. You prioritize what matters. When you make space to plant the right things in your morning, everything else becomes an extension of that intention. Success is never an accident. Growth is never random. Both are the result of disciplined seed time, especially in the early hours of the day. That's why you can look at someone's morning routine and predict their trajectory. It's not about waking up early just to say you did. It's about winning the part of the day when the world is quiet and your decisions are loud. If you want a different life, don't start with a new job, new city, or new strategy. Start with your morning. Decide what seeds need to be sown. Decide who you must become before the world demands anything of you. Your time of planting will always be private. Will always be private. People will see the fruit, but you'll know it started the moment you chose to win your morning. Think about it. The very first thing you allow into your consciousness sets the emotional and psychological tone for your entire day. It's like setting the temperature of your internal thermostat. If you reach for your phone and start scrolling through headlines filled with fear, gossip, distraction, or someone else's highlight reel, you're not just checking updates, you're allowing external forces to hijack your focus, mood, and belief system. You've invited chaos into your calm, comparison into your confidence, and noise into your clarity. The world doesn't knock politely. It barges in, it bombards you with messages. You're not enough, you're falling behind. Look at what they have, fear this, buy that, respond now. If you don't put a guard at the gates of your mind, those messages become your inner voice. What was once a quiet, focused, intentional beginning turns into reactive mode. Now, you're chasing the day instead of leading it. Guarding your mind means being proactive with your mental diet. Just like you wouldn't start your day by drinking dirty water, you shouldn't start it by feeding your brain with garbage. Instead, choose your input like your life depends on it, because it does. This could mean starting with scripture, prayer, journaling, or reading one page of a powerful book. It could mean sitting in silence and visualizing your goals, or simply declaring your affirmations out loud. These practices anchor you. They remind you who you are, what matters, and where you're going. And they help you control your narrative before the world writes one for you. Now let's take a simple example to bring this point home. Imagine two entrepreneurs. Both are building businesses, both wake up at 6 a.m. The first one rolls over, grabs her phone, and starts scrolling through social media. She sees someone in her industry who just announced a big win, maybe $1 million launch or a speaking gig she's been dreaming of. Now she's comparing. Her morning isn't about purpose anymore. It's about playing catch up. She then reads a news article about economic downturns and AI replacing jobs. Fear creeps in, doubt sets the tone. Within 15 minutes of waking, she's already off balance, already questioning her value, and already in defense mode. The second entrepreneur wakes up, takes a breath, and spends 10 minutes reading a chapter from a book that elevates her thinking. She writes her goals, prays for wisdom, visualizes her day with clarity, and affirms her value out loud. Before she even checks her phone, she's already filled her mind with confidence, direction, and purpose. She's not reacting to the world. She's creating her world. Which one do you think will show up more powerfully in business, in decision-making, in relationships, and in life? Which one is more likely to keep going when obstacles arise? That's the difference. The first one gave the world the keys to her mind. The second one stood guard. Now, this doesn't mean you never engage with the world. It means you choose when and how. It means you establish a mental fortress before you enter the battlefield. You need to feed your faith before fear finds a foothold. You need to remind yourself of your identity before the world tries to assign you one. And you need to fill your cup before others start asking you to pour into theirs. The most powerful people are not those with the loudest voice, the biggest platform, or the flashiest success. They are the ones who master the inner game, who are intentional with what they think, believe, and consume. They don't allow anyone or anything to walk uninvited through the front door of their consciousness. They understand that clarity is a choice, not an accident, and it begins the moment you open your eyes. Guarding your mind doesn't require perfection, it requires intention. It's not about doing an hour of meditation or having a flawless routine every morning. It's about saying, I will not start my day on default. I will start it on design. It's about choosing to lead your life from the inside out, rather than being led by the noise outside. And here's the truth. You are the gatekeeper. No one else can do it for you. No one else will. If you don't control your inputs, someone else will. If you don't direct your thoughts, the world will distract them. If you don't choose who you want to be, the world will decide it for you. So before you check your feed, check your focus. Before you scroll, speak your standards. Before you consume, connect with your core. That's how you guard your mind before the world pollutes it. That's how you step into each day not as a follower of noise, but as a leader of purpose. You don't just protect your mind to survive, you protect it to create, to lead, to build, to impact. Because everything you will ever become starts in the mind. And the mind, once focused, becomes unstoppable. The question is, will you own your morning, or will you let the world rent space in your mind for free? Which will you choose today?